What's up? 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 What is up? How are y'all doing today? It is Friday, and y'all know what that means. That means we're gonna have us a good old time tonight. I am your host, Emmanuel Eman Noisette, and tonight, guys, we are going to talk about a bunch of news that happened throughout the week. Just a quick thing. We are not going to review Challengers. That was Zendaya's movie. I actually did a last minute check, thankfully. Otherwise, the studios would have been mad at your boy. But I cannot actually review Challengers today. I think I got to wait like a week or two for that. So sorry, I can't review that. But I will give you guys my review for Monkey Man. We're going to talk about the new upcoming Matrix movie. And we will be talking about the new Fantastic Four, news that's been getting a lot of people talking. And I'm going to kind of introduce maybe something for everyone to think about before you make a decision one way or another. So we got all of that. And then, of course, a whole bunch of other things to talk about. So sorry about that. If anybody was really hoping for Zendaya, actually, I could give a reaction. Maybe I'll give a reaction later. But I cannot review the movie, not yet. But we are definitely going to go through all that. But if you want to go ahead and participate, if you want to, chat with the EFAM, maybe even support the channel, you can definitely do so for the free, by the way. And all you got to do is subscribe. Come on over to the YouTube channel. It is free 99 to subscribe, and you too can be a part of one of the best, livest chats on all of YouTube. Just come on and be a fam, be part of the fam. We really love you. So what else do we have? I needed to thank some people from yesterday. I gotta thank hold on. I gotta thank Low Key. Thank you so much, Low Key. Yesterday I missed it for the $20 Cash App. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Y'all, it's people like Low Key that's keeping this ad free. So shout out to her for that. Thank you. So we don't have to run ads on this. We could just keep it going. Hold on. Wait a minute. Come on. I think is this Kiki? I think this is Kiki West, because I don't want to say the government name, but I think this is Kiki. Kiki, thank you so much for the $100 Cash App. Says for happy Friday to you and the family. Let me send some love right back to you, Kiki. Thank you so much. You are super generous. Thank you. Like, you are keeping the lights on right now. Thank you so much. I cannot express how much that means. Thank you. I appreciate you, ma'am. I appreciate you. Okay. Words cannot convey it enough. But thank you so much for that. That was you, by the way. It wasn't Kiki. I want to say that was you. But thank you for that. I appreciate you. Let's see. Let's kind of go through and give some quick shout outs to some folks here. Last of my kin came in early. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being here. Dex of Reason, what is up? Good to see you. Paulette, thank you so much for being here. Jay Mart, how you doing? Jay, what is up? Good to see you. Matto, what is going on? Thank you so much. Miss Harper, wouldn't be alive without you. But wait, hold on. Let's see. Oh, she got to clear up some things. Hold on. Let's see. Hey, y'all, happy Friday. For the record, I would prefer to bowl with the E-Fam. Okay. I was told there's nothing funnier than watching me talk to my former boss, who I cannot stand. Listen, hopefully your boss ain't watching, but if you can't stand your boss, we can't stand them either. So what? We all together, but it's all good. We still would have liked that invite. We still would have liked that bowling invite, but maybe another time. But thank you so much for being here either way. Appreciate you all day. We got the homie Zia Latrice. What is going on? Thank you for being here. Shar, thank you so much for being here as well. Laura, good to see you. Leandra, hello. Treese, what is up? 60 plus, good to see you. My man Minister Crush is back in the building. Wash your hands, wash your butts. What is up? Good to see you. Rachel, thank you so much for making it back. My man Theo is back in the building. Good to see you. Tracy, what is up? Good to see you. Thank you so much. My man Reese is back. Good to see you, man. Thank you so much for being here. Latrice, good to see you too. Nighthawk, good to see you. Mama J is in the building. Thank you so much for being here as well. We got the homie Deborah. Thank you so much. What is up, my man Eric? Good to see you. Nelson V is back. Good to see you too. We got the vet in the building. Tyra K, always a pleasure. Soto, what is up? Good to see you. Kristen, thank you so much for being here. Kimmy J, how are you? Cal Payne, my man, what is up? Let's see. We got, is this hold on, what is this? Micronese? Mr. Icon Reese. Okay. I had to read that a certain way. I'm slow. Mr. Icon, what is up? Thank you so much for being here. I hope that's the way it is. Like, I don't know if it was spelled a different way or not, but what's up? Let's see. My boy Omar is back. What is up? Come on now. We got the top supporter in the building right now, Kiki West. Thank you so much for being here. Always a pleasure. Come on, we got my homie Charlissa. Come on now. That's another top supporter right there. I'm glad that you were able to make the live. Always a pleasure to have you here. Talented one, what is up? Good to see you. My man Puma is back in the building. Rhonda, good to see you. MC, thank you so much for being here as well. Tasha, what is up? T-Ville, thank you so much. And shout out to everyone. Hold on, wait. Let me get my man Johnny Washington. Come on now. That's a strong name, Johnny Washington. But thank you so much for being here. Appreciate y'all for real. All right, let's see. We have got to get through some stuff here. So, all right, we're gonna do two things. I am going to go over the bad news first, and then I got some good news we'll go over just to kind of, balance it out a little bit. But over the weekend, last weekend, unfortunately, we did lose a promising young actor, and that was Chance Perdomo. In case y'all don't remember or did not know, Chance was the actor from Gen V. And he was also in the series The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Unfortunately, he had died as a result of a motorcycle accident, and he was only 27 years old. This was definitely crushing just to hear. My first introduction to him was Gen V. That was the Boys spinoff that we saw on Amazon Prime or Prime Video. And it was just so sad to hear this. The young man definitely was doing, I thought, a great job on Gen V. I have not seen him on Sabrina. But just to hear that, his life is taken, is lost, at just the age of 27. I mean, just gone way too soon. But thoughts and prayers going out to his friends, family, and all fans as well. Definitely had a promising career, I thought. He was doing good work. So definitely sad to hear about this. But he will be missed. If you had any positive memories about him, maybe some cool things you remember from Gen V, or maybe you watched Sabrina, whatever you think, please let me know in the comments down below. All right, let's move on to that. I might have something to share. I know nobody asked for it, but I figured, why not? We got to do a quick Kobe update. So, actually, let me do this with a couple pictures. So, if you followed me on the social medias and all that, you probably know that I had posted about a couple updates with Kobe. I'll try and get some pictures here for you guys. But recently, I've been telling you guys how I wanted to get him a e-collar. And while I said that, the e-collar was really because he had been having a couple behavioral issues where he's snapping on folks or, growling at folks. And, listen, we all know it only takes one time. You know, and I don't want that one time to happen. I want my dog to be good at all times, and just don't give me a reason. That's all I say. Just don't give me a reason. So I went out and I actually bought an e-collar, and I told you guys that I was going to go get one, and I did end up getting one. So I got the e-collar for him, and we have started the e-collar training. So I watched some videos. I wanted to make sure I did my due diligence, because a lot of people I think abuse the e-collars. They try and use it as like punishment. That's not what this is. This is really, to me, it's basically a wireless leash. So yes, it can be there for correction, but the same way a leash is there to guide the dog, that's the way I've been using this. So what we did was the first day. Now, usually they say you got to do this for like a week just to do step one, then do step two in 2 weeks. Listen, day one, I got a little picture for y'all. Day one, they say, go ahead, put the leash on, put the collar on the dog so he can get used to it, because it's not a bad thing to have the collar on, just like a regular collar, right? So I put the collar on him. We chilling. We having a good time. We went out for a walk. We did this, that, whatever. He ate his food. Everything was cool. And then it came to the point where, when you have these collars, you have to actually test them, right? And now, for anybody that's interested, you're supposed to test them on the lowest setting possible. So on a scale from 1 to like 100, you start on number 1, because you just want the dog to feel it, right? You just want to have him get his attention, and that's all it is, right? So I tried while I was using it. It had a sound feature. I got rid of the sound feature because that I did not like, and it was too loud. I was like, nah, we're not gonna do that. And it has a vibration feature, and it also has a shock feature, but the shock feature is really like, it might be like a static shock, so it's a little quick pop, but it's nothing that's like gonna burn the dog, damage the dog, or anything. And I'm not interested in that. I was interested in the vibration mode, right? No diddy. So I'm looking at the vibration mode. I set it to 1, and I was like, okay, let's just kind of see where Kobe's at. So he's chilling. He's chilling on the ground. He's relaxing. I set the collar on his side, and I hid the remote because I don't want him associating the collar with the remote, because then he's only gonna act right when I have the remote. I don't want that. I want him to know. Actually, I don't want him to know where it's coming from or who it's coming from. So as he's sitting there chilling, we watching National Geographic together. We just on the TV just watching. Bzz. I'm going to just reenact how Kobe was for y'all, just so you can kind of get an idea of what happened. As he's laying there, I hit the button. This man said, "Stop! What was that?" This lasted for at least 3 minutes. And I just sat there. As he continued to search the entire house to find out what was that. And I just said, "Oh, good boy. You all right? Everything cool? All right. Good boy. That's a good boy." So Kobe is now introduced to level 1. I don't have to turn it up to no higher levels, because that's all it was needed. Cool. Now, again, for those of y'all that are not familiar with this is like, it's literally a vibration. It's no different than somebody tapping you on your shoulder. So it's not harming him at all. But boy, that got his attention. Oh, it got his attention. asexually. So day one, his introduction to the collar woke him up. Now here's the thing. Earlier that day, he was laying on his bed, being a whole teenager, right? And it's not like he's tired. He just slept for like 15 hours. I call him from, at the top of the stairs. I was like, yo, Kobe, come here. Nothing. I'm like, okay, he being hard-headed. I go downstairs right in front of him, so he knows it's me. Kobe, come here. He don't want to move. I said, oh, word. Okay, cool. I go get his food. Oh, he can move. He's fine. Oh, he can get up now. So I said, all right, cool. Now I know we dealing with a disobedience type of issue. You just don't feel like it. Got you. So the next day, I put the collar on. Came up from the top of the stairs. Hey, Kobe, come here. Nothing. All right, bet. Hey, Kobe, come. He came up here in 2 seconds. I ain't never seen Kobe move that fast in my life. 2 seconds. I said, oh, we got a winner. Great. This is wonderful. So we started to go out and actually do little bits of training. So, just little things. And it's basic commands that he already knows, right? So by the way, I would not recommend doing this unless you have already had your dog trained to some degree. So it's like, yo, bzz, sit, down, Kobe, come, again, the purpose of this is just it's a tap on the shoulder and that's it. That was yesterday. I was like, yo, this is solid, right? This morning, I get to the top. I don't even get to the top of the stairs. I don't even get there. I'm at my office right now. He's downstairs in his bed. Kobe, come. I'm trying not to say it because he literally will come. I was like, Kobe, come. Came right up the stairs. I didn't press nothing. Not a button was pushed. Not a bzz was felt. And that was it. So, listen, matter of fact, hold on. I got live action pictures here. This is when I first gave him the first buzz. This was his initial look. He was like, what the hell was that? What was that? Did you do this? What was that? That was the first day. Let me show you day number 2. This is day right now. This is Kobe right now. Yes, sir. How can I help you, sir? What do you need, sir? Anything possible that I can do to make your day better, sir? We on point. When I tell you, if Kobe could salute, he would. I ain't never seen him be this attentive in his life. Works like a charm. So, for now, it seems as though this is the e-collar mission has been a success. Okay. Matter of fact, not only that, my brother-in-law came over today, like a couple hours ago, and he's a huge Kobe fan. Like Kobe goes crazy when he comes over, jumping, doing all this stuff. I just put this in my pocket. I don't show it. Put it in my pocket. Went downstairs, opened the door. Kobe said, welcome to the Noisette residence. We have water and beverages over there if you like. I will be over here on the side, sitting and waiting for you to pet me. Thank you. I was shocked. I was beside myself. I said, my brother-in-law was sitting here like, why is he not jumping? I was like, I guess he learned today. I don't know. Like, I didn't push nothing. I don't know, and I don't care. But he's fine now. So, money well spent. Anyway, just wanted to give you guys a little good news there. Yes, Kobe is boy, that act right. That came fast. It came fast. So he's good. He's good. And again, he's not hurt or nothing like that. A little startled, but it's all good. It's all good. So just wanted to put that out there in case anybody was wondering. We're not gonna have no issues. I know that much. And what I like the most is the fact that I don't have to correct anything. You know what I'm saying? And that was kind of the goal. I don't want to shock him. I don't want to hurt him at all. Like, that is not the goal. But if I could do all of this on a low setting, and if you don't even need the setting anymore, if you don't even need me to use it, because now you're gonna listen not just to me, but to everybody else in the house, we're good. We are good. So anyway, that was y'all little Kobe update. Listen, he a good dog. He a good dog. Sometimes he need a little reminder. He is in his teenage years, but I'm still the daddy. It's still my house. I put the food in the bowl. Okay, so he just had to be reminded. That's all. A little nudge on the side. That's all. But anyway, just want to let y'all know. So if y'all had any thoughts on Kobe, or maybe if you've been using the e-collar at all, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's see. Kristen, what you got? Kobe needs treats after that first day as an X-Men was rough. I like that. No, so we did. So every time a command was issued, and if it was followed, so I don't really do the treats type of thing, because what do you do if you don't have treats, right? So I mix it up. So it would be command buzz. Once he does it, I mark it with a yes. So sit, yes. Then I give him, like, either I pet him or I rub him, give him a little love and attention. And sometimes I give him some of his food or whatever. So why y'all talking about I got the collar from Genosha? Y'all watch too much X-Men. Stop it. Stop it. But thank you, Kristen. I appreciate you. But no, he does. And that's the thing. I want him to have a positive association that, yeah, maybe this buzzing might feel a little awkward, but there's something good involved, which is if I listen and if I obey, I might get a treat. I might get attention. I might get rubbed. And at the end of the day, that's kind of what you want anyway, right? You want to get fed and loved. So, it's all good. It's all good. Let's see. What is this? Derek, what you say? Ever since X-Men 97 came out, you've been fixed on getting someone in a collar. Me no E-Man hurting Kobe. Shame on you. Great After Dark combo. See, I don't understand first of all, I don't know why y'all keep wanting this After Dark stuff. Y'all got bedtimes, and so do I. Second of all, I only wanted Rogue in the collar because that's what she said she wanted. But whatever. I don't know what you're talking about. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you so much, Derek. I appreciate you. Let's see. The second picture is the album cover, E-Man. Y'all talking about this? Wait, y'all talking about this? It does look like an album cover. I gotta put that parental advisory. Well, listen, this is a big transition from this to this. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Okay, that's my good boy right there. Oh, that is funny. That is funny. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate you. Oh man. All right. See, I told you we was gonna have a little pick me up, little fun. All right. We got some business to go through. So we got a couple movie updates for us to kind of just run through real quick. One of them is for a beloved franchise, and that is Toy Story. So it seems as though Toy Story 5 will release on June 19th, 2026 in theaters. Now, I've already been of the opinion that we didn't really need another Toy Story. What was it? After 2? I think 2 was probably like one of the better ones, and maybe 3. I think 3 was pretty good. They kind of running together. I remember 4 was not needed at all. Like 4, I was like, why y'all milking this? Y'all milking this. But 5, I'm still kind of iffy on, like, do we need to do this again? I don't know, but y'all let me know. How do you feel about another Toy Story? because it's coming to you in about 2 years, whether you want it or not. Then let's see, we also got another update for The Mandalorian and Grogu. Keep in mind, this is going to be the Star Wars spinoff movie from the Disney Plus series. Looks like here we have a date, and that is coming out May 22nd, 2026. So that is got so this looks like it's actually going to happen. But then again, it is also a Star Wars movie. So we'll believe it when a trailer drops. That's nice. That's nice that they got a date on here, but that long history of all the times things get announced and then they don't happen. No, I'm good. Sure, you will. Star Wars, sure. So y'all let me know, what do you think about that? Are you looking forward to a Grogu Mandalorian movie? Do you think maybe they should have stuck to just a series? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments. We have a Daredevil update. Nothing too crazy, but of course, Daredevil Born Again has been, I think at least for me, it's a highly anticipated series. We found out that as they were shooting it, that the script was kind of boo-boo, and Kevin Feige was like, yo, pump the brakes. We got to go fix this real quick. So they fired like half of the people that were working on it, and they brought back a bunch of people from the Punisher series. And we saw that they've been bringing back some of the old cast as well. So they're trying to get back to their roots in terms of making this show basically have the same energy that the Netflix show had. So they've been shooting for a while, but now we see here that they have finally finished filming, and it is going to be coming to Disney Plus next year. So in 2025, you can get ready to watch Daredevil Born Again. But not only that, in the same way he was introduced in, I think it was season 2 of Daredevil, we also have some set photos, and this was released by the actor himself. But guess who's back? Yes, it is the Punisher himself, played by John Bernthal. He released a couple images of himself on set with the cast and crew. One thing that you can notice, he still has the skull on his chest. I saw some other set photos where there are some police officers that have been, I guess, really looking up to the Punisher, so they also started to adopt the skull on their chest. So maybe that's something that they're gonna have to visit, maybe in the Punisher series. But of course, John, Punisher definitely looks like he's been doing what he knows how to do, and that is to get busy and get on to get all bloodied up. We see him there working with I'm assuming that's Charlie Cox, unless that's a stunt double, but that is some behind the scenes stuff there. So that right there is definitely, I think, a good positive sign. We're getting Punisher in Daredevil. We're getting the old cast back. So it definitely seems like it's, at least on paper, understanding the assignment of what worked in the past. We'll see if they can actually execute that, but this does seem like it's going in the right direction. But you guys let me know, does this kind of excite you for the upcoming Daredevil series? Maybe you need to see more. I don't know. Maybe we'll wait for a trailer. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right, let's get that. We got that done. We got a quick little Invincible update. So in case you haven't been watching, Invincible is wrapping up. I think it's already done, if I'm not mistaken. So you have the final episode out already. And the showrunner, both of the showrunners of the show, gave a little bit of a tease for season 3 of Invincible. And let's see, they had what do they say here? So this is coming from Robert Kirkman. He's the guy that made the comic book itself. He said, I think there's so many pieces that have been put in place in season 2 that we're going to build on in season 3, and so many different ways that we're going to expand the show and push the show even further. This is the other showrunner speaking. You've got some new cast members, new stories. We go to some crazy places, but we pick up everything that we left hanging in season 2. All the emotional stories that you liked in season 1 and season 2 are continuing. And Kirkman goes on to say again, we want every season 3 episode to feel like it's a finale. Season 3 is an absolute huge season with so many crazy things you won't expect. And where we leave things at the end of season 3, oh my God, I cannot wait for people to see that stuff. This is high praise. This is high praise coming from the creator and the showrunner. I like the fact that they at least are aware that all the threads that they created will continue in the next season, because that was kind of something that I think we started to see in this season. The whole situation from Mars, for example, they picked that up and they kind of got that going. And we do have a lot of different things that need to be resolved and figured out. So I like that. But the part that kind of got me was where he was talking about every episode needs to feel like a finale. Usually finales are known for high climaxes and probably some sort of cliffhanger that keeps you wanting more. So if they're going to tap into that, if that's the way they're going to feel, I think that's a great way to keep Invincible's, let's just say the visibility up and the attention, because I don't know about y'all, and maybe I could be wrong on this, but I feel like season 2 kind of fell under the wayside a little bit. Like, I don't know if it's because they separated it in 2 parts, but I just haven't seen as many people talking about the series compared to like the first season, so I don't know, maybe season 3 will be a way to elevate the show again. I thought season 2 was, I wouldn't say a filler, but it definitely felt like a good setup for what's to come. And that's just based off of what I know is going to happen in the comics. But I don't know. You guys let me know. Have you finished the final second part of season 2? What did you think about it? And does the showrunner's words, does he kind of get you hyped up for this? Is he overhyping it maybe? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. Ooh. Yes, I do want to talk about this. So, Denis Villeneuve. In case you did not know, this is the guy behind the current Dune films. And as I've already said in my review, like, I liked the first Dune, but it was also kind of but the second Dune I thought was absolutely a step up. Just a true cinematic thing to really watch on an IMAX Dolby digital screen. Like, that was that was cinema. That was a really good thing. So there's been a lot of anticipation of like what Denis' next movie is going to be. Of course, the popular thing is that he was going to work on the third Dune movie, which was going to be Dune Messiah. And according to him, that was going to be the last thing he was going to do in the Dune series. Now, let me just say, based off of what I didn't read all the books, but I know what happens in the books. That's the smartest thing this man could do, because the direction where the other Dune stories go, I don't know if you can put that on the big screen. And I'm not saying that they're like bad or anything. I'm just saying that they're very heavy with the sci-fi. And I don't know if audiences are going to want to tune in for that. I mean, they tried to do that with what was it? Children of the Dune. It was kind of like a TV series to kind of tell you what happens after, and I don't think it did very well. That's for the hardcore of the hardcore sci-fi fans. So ending it with Dune Messiah is definitely a great place to stop, I think. And if people want to know more, they can go on and read the books. Just go do that. Use your imagination, because seeing that in the movie, I don't know. But before that happens, Denis seems to have another project already in the works, and that is going to be his new film based off of the book Nuclear War. So this book here, it says here, Villeneuve would take this on, this one, as another giant project after he completes Dune Messiah. So I was mistaken. He's going to do this after Dune Messiah. Now, as for Nuclear War, this book explores a ticking clock scenario about what would happen in the event of a nuclear war. This is based on dozens of exclusive interviews with military and civilian experts who built the weapons and have been privy to the response plans and have been responsible for those decisions should they need to be made. Wow. Okay. So I believe this is also like a New York bestseller. So this is like a pretty popular book. But this hold on, there's more here. It says here that the expectation is also that this would be a chilling cautionary tale about where the world might be ahead in an age of political volatility at a time when too many countries have nuclear capabilities. Listen, we just got off of Oppenheimer. And Oppenheimer was kind of that depiction of like the creation of the atomic bomb, and we already know what happened after that with Hiroshima, and other world wars, etc. And yeah, having nuclear weapons can definitely be a problem, but this film based off of this book, it would be definitely a scary thing to think about, mainly because of how real it could be. I mean, there is a reason, whether you follow news or not, there is a reason why there's a lot of trepidation when you look at countries like North Korea or Russia, that have nuclear capabilities. And when you talk about potential dictators who are ready to have like a itchy trigger finger, this is not something that we want to go through in our lives at all. So it would be interesting to see if he can put what the stories are in this book on a big screen, because I've always been under the impression that when we see things on a big screen, sometimes that's a better educator than what we get in a textbook. It's also one of the reasons why I get very hard on these films that misconstrue historical facts and stuff, because a lot of people are impressionable based off of what they see on the screen. I mean, listen, to this day, Terminator has always been my go-to when we think about AI and the dangers of it, right? There's a reason why we sit here and talk about AI and Skynet. It was because of Terminator, okay, for me. So I think that this will be very interesting to see what Denis can do. Obviously, this guy knows how to make visual, captivating films. And if he can do what Oppenheimer did, or even some of that, I think this could be a pretty impactful film. So I'm looking forward to this, of course, after Doom Messiah. But you guys let me know, how do you feel about his new movie? Is this something that you're interested in? Do you not really care? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. Puma, what you got? Thank you so much. Invincible is such a great show. I was so happy they didn't do the comics version of the Amber breakup. Season 3 will be hype. Cool. See, and this is what I like. Like, this is why I purposely did not read the comics. Like, unfortunately, before the cartoon came out, I kind of heard about the comic, so I had seen like a couple panels, which are now spoilers for me, but it also made me not want to read the comic at all until the cartoon is done, because I want to see the changes. So if what you're saying is the case, that they change certain things, I'm very happy with that. I'm here for it. Good, 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 good. All right, let's move on. We have a quick update from the Disney board situation. So, in case you don't recall, last week we talked about how there was a whole bigot trying to get on the Disney board. Yes, a bigot, somebody who was sitting here questioning why all the blacks had to show up in Black Panther and why all the women's had to show up in the Marvels and Captain Marvel, etc. And of course, it was none other than this guy, Nelson Peltz, or whatever. So he was trying to vie for a position on Disney's board. And keep in mind, his guy was none other than Ike Perlmutter, the same guy who was trying to make sure Captain Marvel or Black Panther never happened, even though they came out with like $1 billion a piece. So he wanted to get on the board and, let's just say, make things right. And that's what he wanted to do with his company. So the vote came down. I want to say it went down this Wednesday is when they were doing it. But the votes are in. The votes are cast. And we do have the results here. It says enough votes have been cast as of Tuesday evening to put Disney's board of directors safely ahead of Treon, or that's the guy's company, Treon's two nominees for the board, Peltz and ex-Disney CFO Jay Rasulo. So he has been defeated. It does not look like Peltz is going to be joining the board. He is not going to spew any of that anti-women, anti-black folks, rhetoric, poisoning, all of that stuff. He is going to stay away. Or is he? Because he had some comments after this vote happened. It says here, this is coming from him. The shareholders have voted. They want to give management and the board a chance. So be it. Well, good. Sounds like he's not a sore loser. Okay, cool. But he goes on to say this: we will watch like we did last time. We pulled out a year ago, February. A lot of promises were made. We hoped that they were going to keep them. They didn't. We came back. We've got a new set of promises, and I hope they keep them. But if they don't, you'll see me again. This dude sounds like a whole Disney villain. He sounds like a straight up villain. Like, he's like, listen, y'all put too many blacks out there. You make one more movie with one too many women, I'll be back. And I'm coming full force with all the white supremacy ideology and bigotry I can muster. He's going to be back. So this might not be the last time we hear of Mr. Peltz. But I don't know, rich folks going rich folk, whatever. Anyway, I'm glad that he actually got outvoted. His mentality is not something that I think is productive, especially on a company that tries to promote itself as being inclusive, diverse, and entertaining. Whether you're talking about the theme parks or the entertainment side, Disney is not all about just one perspective. So bye, hit the road, Jack. How old is he? He old. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, y'all let me know, how do you feel about this guy Peltz not being voted and his vow of returning on a witch broom? I don't know, whatever he's gonna do. But y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let's see. Let's shift over a little bit. Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman has been something that has been tossed around back and forth for a while. First movie, thought was great. Second movie, not so much. Missed the mark. Then the whole question of whether we were going to get a Wonder Woman 3, that was kind of going to happen. then the whole DCEU and Warner Brothers shift happened, and James Gunn happened, and yeah, man, it's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. So we actually have an OG weighing in on this, and by OG I mean the OG Wonder Woman herself, Linda Carter. She weighed in on this during an interview about the fate of Wonder Woman 3 and will it ever be made? And she had some thoughts on it. She said here in this interview, I don't think they by WB, I don't think they want to do it unless there's enough pressure from fans. She goes on to say, I just don't think they have the mind to do it. And I don't understand that because it seems to me that Wonder Woman is different from other characters. I don't know why they tabled it because it's a great franchise. Y'all gonna demand that WB makes a Wonder Woman 3? Is that something that, because y'all the people, do y'all want a Wonder Woman 3? I mean, she's talking about she don't know why they tabled it, ma'am. Ma'am, you were in Wonder Woman 84. You had a whole cameo. You didn't get, nobody sent you the receipts. Nobody told you what happened with the movie. No. Bless her heart. Bless her heart. That's all I'm gonna have to say on that. Listen, Linda's a OG. Okay, I don't know how old she is. She an OG. That's all I know. And I put some respect on all the work she did in the past with the twirling and everything. Yo, shout out to Linda Carter. I don't think anyone's going to demand for this. Now, I support Wonder Woman showing up. I'm here for a new Wonder Woman. I'm here for her stories and all that. I just don't think we need to continue from what we left off. If we want to start over, cool. I'm fine with that. But yeah, I'm good on that. I'm good on that. You're not gonna no. We can do a different one. We can go in a different direction. I don't need a part 3, but I don't know. You guys let me know. Do y'all want a part 3? Is this something you demand, or should they move on? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's see. Ooh, we making great time. Love it. So let's get into this next one. I like this. We have talked about the Michael B. Jordan movie and the Ryan Coogler secret movie that they're doing. And we've I've shared a couple of the updates on this so far. So what we know is that this is going to be a vampire-like movie. It is going to be in the 1930s in the Jim Crow South. It is also going to have potentially Michael B. Jordan playing a twin. So just like Will Smith and Gemini Man, he's going to be playing two roles. And the latest rumor that we heard last week was that the villains could be the KKK. And I've already told y'all, if the vampires are fighting against the KKK, let them fight. Let the bodies hit the floor. I'm here for all of this. So I like this. I like this this whole idea of what they're doing. I don't know if they're going, and of course they were going to have some anime influences. So it is very possible that we're drawing from Hellsing. I don't think so, but it could be Vampire Hunter D. If we're doing Vampire Hunter D and you're giving me all these other things, I think that this is going to be a banger. I think this is going to be really, really solid. But in order to make this even better, they just added another cast member, and I just don't think you can go wrong with this. Delroy Lindo has been cast in this movie, according to the reports. It says here he has closed the deal to join Michael B. Jordan in the untitled supernatural horror thriller that Ryan Coogler is directing for Warner Brothers. Listen, Delroy Lindo is a walking legend. This guy is fantastic in everything he does. I have never seen him be bad in anything. This is an automatic upgrade. I love it. I love it. We do have at least a little rumor about what he's going to do in the film. It says Lindo's part is being kept in the coffin, but one source describes it as having a musical element to it. The feature is gearing up for a shoot later this spring in New Orleans and recently cast Jack O'Connell as a villain. All right, great. It says here that the studio set March 7th, 2025 as the release date. Wow, that's less than a year. That's 11 months. Listen, this might be a lower budget film that I'm here for this. I like everything about this so far. You can't add Delroy Lindo and make this bad. Now they said that his part was going to have a musical element. I'm assuming like maybe maybe he plays the banjo or something. Maybe he plays the fiddle or something. I don't know. But either way, I'm okay with this. I'm very okay with this. Everything about this, it says Ryan Coogler is also going to write it and direct it. So I think that that's a solid thing. A lot of people are already speculating that this could be because of Blade, because there was Lindo was supposed to be a part of Blade, but we will see. Maybe he's doing double duty or something. Actually, I'll talk about that in just a moment. But you guys let me know, how does this make you feel? What are you hearing about this, or what are you feeling about the idea that Delroy got added to this? Does it make or break the movie? Do you still need more? Whatever you're feeling, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hold on. There was something else I wanted to share with y'all. Where is it? Give me 1 second. There was a rumor that I had just heard, and I don't see it nowhere. Oh, maybe did it just get taken down? Did I not bookmark it for y'all? Oh, maybe I didn't. Oh, okay. Anyway, all right. Sorry, I thought I had a Blade rumor for you guys. Oh well. Okay. Anyway, sorry. I thought I had a Blade rumor, but I don't. We'll see if it pans out anyway. What else do we have? Let's talk about Supergirl. So, James Gunn, in his new official DCU, had recently also, during his announcement, he mentioned that Supergirl was going to get her own movie. We also found out that Millie was going to Millie Alcock from House of the Dragon, that she was going to be the new Supergirl as well. But now we got some news here about who the director was going to be. And we just found out it is going to be Greg Gillespie. Now, if you don't recall, he's the one that directed Cruella and I, Tonya. And he is in talks to direct Supergirl for WB. Now, the plan is for DC to shoot the movie in the fourth quarter. after they've completed James Gunn's Superman movie, which is currently filming right now. So it sounds like, they'll probably get into Supergirl probably somewhere in the fall, maybe in the winter time to shoot that. Now, Gunn had talked about the type of Supergirl that we will see, but he had said this last year during a presser. So, he said here, we see the difference between Superman, who was sent to Earth and raised by loving parents from the time he was an infant, versus Supergirl, who was raised on a rock, a chip off of Krypton, and watched everyone around her die and be killed in terrible ways for the first 14 years of her life, and then came to Earth when she was a young girl. She's much more hardcore. She's not exactly the Supergirl we're used to seeing. So it sounds like we're going to get a much more jaded, maybe even scarred Supergirl. Now, I will admit, I thought that they were going to go in the direction of at least getting a female director for this, but Gillespie did two solid films. I mean, Cruella, solid film. I, Tanya also had gotten awards, I want to say, or at least nominations. So he's done solid films that centered around female characters, and they were praised. So, hey, if that's the case, so be it. But you guys let me know. Does this get you any excited for Supergirl? Is this something that you're looking forward to? Or maybe you just don't care. I don't know. Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What else do we have? Oh, yes, let's do that before we get into the Marvel stuff. So it was announced earlier this week that we are going to get a new Matrix movie. Now, I have always been of the opinion that The Matrix has been one of my favorite film franchises. The first Matrix movie is probably one of my favorite films, period. Like, whenever somebody asks me that question, what's your favorite movie? Come on now. Like, there have been millions of movies made. The Matrix. But it has been one of those films that, in my opinion, was a genre defining type of film and a game changer. It wasn't until The Matrix that we really started to see an uptick in the slow motion, type of use. Like, ever since Neo dodged that first bullet, man, everybody's jaw dropped. I mean, I remember going to see The Matrix for the first time, and the theater was packed. It was packed. And a lot of that had to do because of the marketing. If some of y'all remember, the trailers for The Matrix didn't tell you anything. Matter of fact, there was a whole website that said, "What is The Matrix?" And it still didn't tell you anything. But it was so much curiosity, it was so much hype that it was just fantastic. Yeah, like, I absolutely loved it. I know some people didn't really like part 2. I like part 2. I thought part 2 was cool. And part 3, it was a little tough. It was a little tough. And as for part 4, because they did come out with the more updated sequel, and this was happening during the pandemic. That was a miss for me. I did not care for it. And I think the irony in the 4th film was the fact that one of the messages was about how Hollywood was constantly making reboots and constantly going out and taking crappy sequels just so they can cash in on the IP, right? Like, that was the message of the actual film. Now, I don't know if it was part of the irony to make the 4th film not that good, because mission accomplished, but that was kind of the theme that they were pushing there. But it looks like we are going to get another one. Now, the reports are calling this Matrix 5. Now, I don't know if it's actually going to be a continuation, or if this is going to be a reboot. I'm a little iffy on which direction they should go. I don't know if they should do a reboot. I don't know if they should do a continuation, but there is one thing that has absolutely got me convinced here, and that is who they have behind this. It says here the studio announced, WB announced that a fifth Matrix movie is in development. It'll be the first installment without the Wachowski siblings as directors. Instead, the Martian screenwriter Drew Goddard will handle filmmaking duties, and he will also write the script. Now, it says here it's not clear who from the Matrix universe will return. So we don't know if Keanu's coming back. We don't know if anybody is coming back. It says the plot details have been, they're not revealed, but the president of, Motion Pictures president of production did tease that the story will advance the fantasy world without straying too far from what made the series a success. They go on to say here, Drew came to Warner Brothers with a new idea, offering a unique perspective based on his own love of the series and characters. So I like that, right? I like the idea that you're getting someone who's really passionate about the franchise and the movies, and they're coming with a new idea. This reminds me of like Ryan Coogler with what he did with Creed, being a fan of the Rocky series, or maybe, and we haven't seen it yet, Fede Alvarez, who was a fan of the Alien films, and he's coming in and doing an Alien Romulus movie. So I like the fact that, you know, that the filmmakers are passionate about this. That doesn't mean the movies are going to be great, but at least it's coming from a good place, and I'm okay with that, right? Now, I'm still excited about the fact that it's Drew Goddard. And if you think about what Drew Goddard has done, and this guy's got good credentials, okay? Goddard was nominated for writing The Martian, you know, with Matt Damon. Solid film. He was also the writer for Cloverfield, which I liked, and World War Z with Brad Pitt, where he was a writer-director for The Cabin in the Woods and Bad Times at El Royale. Now, I was not a fan of Cabin in the Woods for different reasons, but I understand a lot of people did like it. And Bad Times at El Royale, I like that. That was the Chris Hemsworth film where he was a villain in that movie. But if you look at Drew Goddard's record, this guy's record is pretty solid. Okay, this is the guy. Again, he gave you The Martian. He gave you Bad Times at El Royale. But let's see him as a writer. You know, because I always tell y'all the writing is where it starts. That's the lifeblood right there. He did Buffy the Vampire Slayer, solid series. Angel, solid series. Alias, solid series. Look at this. IMDb, if you can get like a 7 or above, you have a really good thing on your hands. This guy's got an 8.3, 7.9, 7.6, 7.0. He did Lost. He did Cloverfield. He did other things with Buffy the Vampire again, Cabin in the Woods, World War Z, The Martian, The Defenders. Okay, he wrote an episode on the Netflix Defenders. And by the way, he's the guy behind the Daredevil series. Yes. The Daredevil Netflix series, one of the greatest products of the of Marvel on television. This guy is behind it. So you know what? I'm okay with him being on board, because I went back and looked at the writers for the last Matrix movie. Terrible. So I'm sitting here looking at the old writers for the last movie. So all they need is somebody who knows how to write and someone who has a good track record. That's enough to give me some confidence that this guy knows what he's doing. So I am all on board for Drew doing this. What did he do as a director? Let me see. Okay, so as a director, he directed Bad Times at El Royale and Cabin in the Woods. So that's fine. I'm okay with this. Let's go. And he loves it. So he loves the Matrix and he has a good track record. I'm down for this. So you guys let me know, how do you feel about a fifth Matrix movie coming out? Does it help that a competent director is going to be behind it, a good screenwriter at that? Does it help that he really loves the franchise? Or maybe are you tired of the Matrix? Maybe it should have just stopped after the third film. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right. There we go. Tracy, thank you so much. Oh my God. Reloaded's highway chase scene is still fire. Yes, it is. That's what I'm saying. Listen, the second Matrix movie was not bad. Excuse me. I really enjoyed it. Like that highway scene, yes. Yes. It took what Terminator 2 did and took it to a whole nother level. You know, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Not to mention the Merovingian. Oh, yeah. The Merovingian was definitely cool too. It's the 25th anniversary of the first, and they have aged well. I agree. Because when the fourth movie came out, I went back and watched the original films again, and with a much more adult mind. First of all, I finally understood what the hell the architect was talking about. You know, furthermore, you know, or what was he saying? I don't know. Whatever he was saying. I didn't know what the hell that guy was saying when the movie first came out. You know, when he first was in that chair and he was talking to Neo and he was just using all these big old words that I did not understand at that time. I did not know what he was talking about. But now I could watch it and be like, I get it now. So yes, I have a whole new appreciation for what it was and what it did, and it absolutely holds up. Absolutely. Jay, what you got? Matrix 4 made me appreciate Matrix 3 more. That's interesting. I wish it did that for me. It did not do that for me at all. And not at all. I did not like the direction that 4 went into. I was not a fan with the whole little new twist. It was just not for me. It was not for me. But I'm glad that it did something for you, bro. I'm glad. Thank you so much. All right, let's move on. Man, we are making great time. Jay, again, the architect. Ergo, that was it. That's what this was. He went on. Ergo, vis-a-vis, concordantly. Like I was sitting there like, ergo, how do you spell ergo? Concordia? Vis-a-vis, voulez-vous coucher? What? Like I was so confused. I was so confused. Thank you. Ergo. Yeah, we gotta put ergo back in the lexicon. We gotta put that back in there. But thank you so much, Jay. I appreciate that. What else do we have? We got a quick thing. All right, Guardians of the Galaxy. Now we know that volume 3 came out, and I would say it was a relatively good success for Marvel, even though Phase 4 had some struggles. But it also marked the end of their adventures in the MCU. That is, of course, until we got a new team, which, to be honest with you, I don't care about this new team. I did not like the direction James Gunn left some of them. Adam Warlock was a huge fail for me, just a huge fail. But overall, I did enjoy the movie. Shout out to Rocket. Shout out to High Evolutionary. Chuck Woody did a fantastic job. So yeah, overall, solid film, solid franchise. But you know, the question is kind of like, all right, what do we do moving on? Is that it? Do we go back? Well, Zoe Saldana, who played Gamora, she had some thoughts on the future of the Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, she's off playing in Avatar right now, but she did have some comments on the future of the franchise. She said, you know, so far, I think that she is gone for good for me in terms of Gamora, but I don't think Gamora is gone for good. So she's basically saying that maybe Gamora could come back, maybe as a different actress. And she goes on to say, I would think it would be a huge loss for Marvel if they didn't find a way to bring back the Guardians of the Galaxy. And then at the helm, she does mention how we had a voice like James Gunn writing it. So I don't think it's going to be a huge loss if we don't go back to Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't. I think that Guardians served a great purpose in pushing the MCU onto a cosmic level in terms of showing us different sides of the cosmic realms and stuff like that. But I don't think we need them back. I don't think Marvel needs to bring them back. Now, I don't mind if we get them to show up in different projects. I think that's fine. But we don't need them to push stories in space. So, for example, we could use. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to say this. Maybe we explore space with the Eternals. Maybe. Or Nova. The Nova Corps, the Nova, I think that we're going to do a TV series for that. Nova could be coming. So maybe they show up with that. They did have an encounter in the movie with the Nova Corps. So, hey, if you want to bring the Guardians in that mix, that's cool there. We already got Fantastic Four coming around. So all I'm saying is, I don't think we need them. I don't think we need the Guardians, and we're not even getting like the Guardians that we come to know. Like we're getting the Guardians at home. We're getting the Wish Guardians. Like I personally don't care about them. I just don't. And listen, if we're being honest, Marvel does not need to go back to doing the, hey, let's go to the bottom of the barrel, find some random characters and make them work. They don't have to do that anymore. They got all the character rights. They can go ahead and do what they need to do and tell the stories they got to tell. They don't have to keep taking all these risks. At this point, just like Bob Iger basically said, they need to go for those surefire hits, those big name properties. That's the route they have to go at this point. So we'll see. But anyway, you guys let me know. Do you agree with Zoe? Do you believe that they should bring the Guardians back? Would it be a huge loss for Marvel if we never got to see them, maybe in a solo movie or whatever? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Puma, thank you so much. Just recast T'Challa and give us Blade first. Sure, I'll take that. Fine, no argument there. All right. Speaking of, we're gonna stay on the Avengers bandwagon here, or the Marvel bandwagon. So, Secret Wars. This is obviously going to be a big movie for Marvel. And this is gonna be this is gonna be Avengers 6. So Avengers 5, which was called Kang Dynasty, and we don't know if they're still keeping it Kang Dynasty. I believe in like some investor meetings or something, they're only calling it Avengers 5 at this point. So we'll see if Kang is gonna stick around or not. I've already said I think they should stick with Kang and give us what they promised and deliver a good villain. But we'll see where that goes. But Secret Wars is a huge film. Now we'll talk about this a little bit later, but the suspicion is that Secret Wars is going to be, I would say, a defining moment in the MCU, because it's possible we could get a soft reboot, maybe. And if that is the case, that's a whole nother conversation. But for the film itself, Secret Wars itself, the expectation, and we don't know exactly what they're going to do, but the expectation is that Secret Wars is going to be this big, crazy film that is probably going to be similar to an event, Infinity War or Endgame type of situation. Now, in the comics, Depending on which Secret Wars we're talking about, this was like a big old battle royale, royal rumble of all the superheroes and villains just getting down and dirty and fighting each other. Now, are they going to do that? We don't know. We don't know because there are two different versions of Secret Wars. Are they going to maybe take elements of that and mix it up? Maybe. We don't know. But I think a very important thing to kind of figure out is who's going to actually direct Secret Wars. So there have been a couple rumors already out on who it could be. And one of the rumors was Ryan Coogler. Some people were saying he should do it. I'm a Ryan Coogler fan as an artist, even though I disagree with certain decisions that he's made. But personally, Ryan would not be my first pick for Avengers Secret Wars. I just have trepidation about him taking on something on that scale. And who else was in the running? Oh, the Russo brothers. The Russo brothers in the past, they had expressed if they ever came back, Secret Wars, that was the one movie that they would come back for. But they've been busy. They've been doing production and all these other movies and stuff. So that's not on the table. So another rumor who is on the table for doing Avengers Secret Wars has been someone that had pretty good success in Marvel. And he recently did a movie during the pandemic that made a good chunk of money. And that was Sam Raimi. Yes, that's right. The former Spider-Man director who gave us, the Spider-Man 1, 2, and unfortunately 3 with the GOAT, Tobey Maguire. It's been talked about that he could be the potential director for Avengers Secret Wars. And in an interview, he had this to say when asked about it. He said, "I love 90% of the Marvel heroes that I've read in the great Stan Lee Marvel Universe comic books. I would love to work with Marvel again. They haven't reasonably asked me to. I hope they have a good experience with me. They haven't asked me yet. I hope they do. I don't. No, thank you." And it's not because I don't think Sam Raimi is a bad director. I think he's a good director. Again, he gave us Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2, which were fantastic, and Spider-Man 3, not so much. Doctor Strange 2, it was cool for a little bit, but then there were some questionable things in there as well. But I don't trust Sam Raimi to do something as big as Secret Wars. Why? Because I didn't really like his approach to Doctor Strange 2. Doctor Strange 2, when he came in to do this, and of course, we got receipts on hand. My man didn't even do his homework. He didn't do his homework. And this is straight up quote. He said here, "I never saw all of WandaVision. I just seen key moments of some episodes that I was told directly impact our storyline. I'm not really sure what the WandaVision schedule was or how it changed. I just know that halfway or maybe 3/4 of the way into our writing process, I'd heard of this show they were doing and that we would have to follow it." There is absolutely no way I would want anyone touching Avengers Secret Wars that hasn't even done their homework. And if you think about it, Secret Wars potentially, especially if it's going to deal with the multiverse, you got to know everything. You can't come in there and be like, "All right, what we working on? Who's Spider-Man? Get out. Get out. We don't get out." And I don't need you doing a last minute cram session of, "All right, let me sit through and watch everything in the MCU and let me do all." No. I need a nerd. At this point, I need someone who is intimately knowledgeable about the franchise, the characters, and not just with Marvel, but also with Sony, because there is that possibility they're going to bring Venom in and Spider-Man from Tom Holland. They might do all that too. I need you to know all the things, all of them. And here's the thing: this wasn't it. This wasn't just it. He goes on to talk about this was also Elizabeth Olsen that had to help him. She went on to say Marvel's truly a very collaborative space, and we're constantly being put with other directors and other writers. So they actually do listen when you go, I don't know. In WandaVision, we did this, so I don't think it really makes sense for us to do this then here. And Sam Raimi would just be like, great, I'm glad you explained it to me. Sir, I don't need on-the-job training. No, we're not. No, that's a pass. Seems like a great guy. Seems like a nice guy. You want to go do a Spider-Man 4 with Toby? I'm all for it. Go ahead, have fun. Don't touch Secret Wars. No, thank you. No, thank you. No. And if I could just say this to Marvel Studios directly, when it comes to Avengers Secret Wars, I totally understand that schedules can be a problem. I understand that money can be a problem. But if you want this to be a success, you do need to go get the Russo brothers. I don't care how much it costs. I don't care what you need to push aside and to make things work. If you want a fulfillion dollars, go get the Russo brothers, because you cannot afford to have anybody else come in and fumble this bag for y'all. This is not the time to go get a new director. This is not the time to get a director that has not done their homework and is not familiar with all the characters, all the stories, or even the crossover things that are canon or not canon. Do you want all the monies? Because if you do, you have to go get the Russo brothers. This is almost at the point where it's a non-negotiable. I don't know what any other director that you go get at this point outside of Steven Spielberg or something of, some grand name like that. You're leaving money on the table. Now, don't get me wrong. Avengers Secret Wars is going to make $1 billion easy. It's gonna probably even make $2 billion easy. But do you want that $3 billion? Do you want the $4 billion? Do you want all the monies? Because if you do, you go get those Russo brothers, and I promise you that is going to be a huge adrenaline shot into the MCU, unlike anything we've seen in a long time. You tell people right now, the Russo brothers are coming back. They're doing Avengers Secret Wars. All those people, all of y'all out there sitting here talking about, I'm done with Marvel. Marvel's dead. I guarantee everybody will be back. Everybody. All of y'all. Every single one of y'all. And I'm talking to all of y'all talking about Marvel's in shambles. Marvel's dead. All of y'all coming back if they say the Russos are doing Secret Wars. Y'all coming back. I know it. Anyway, y'all let me know. What do you think about this whole thing with Sam Raimi wanting to do Avengers Secret Wars? Do you think maybe Marvel should give him a shot? Maybe they should say, hey, why not? Let's go ahead and see what you can do. Or should they move on to someone else and continue ignoring him the way they've been doing? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's see. My man, Just My Opinion Reviews. What's going on? Christopher Nolan? Nope. No thanks. No thank you. Hey, I know he's a fantastic director. One of the best. Not somebody I'd want for this. I need a real nerd. I need somebody who's like, man, I remember watching this and loving it. Now, here's the thing. If we couldn't get the Russo brothers, and I'm not saying I would love this, but the second name that pops to my mind that could handle, because you have to think about this. They're handling a lot of different characters, and you have to know these characters like the back of your hand. The only other person I could say right off the top of my head would probably be James Gunn. And he's definitely not going to be available. But I'm just saying, he's that kind of director that knows all the universal stuff. He knows all the intricacies and all that. And he can juggle a lot of characters. Like, if we couldn't get the Russo brothers, he would be the next person I'd be like, yo, what's up, big head? I know you busy with the DCU, but you want to try? So, but nah, I could not do Christopher Nolan because I think Christopher Nolan might get in his own way. I need a nerd. I need a better nerd. And like I said, I'm not loving the James Gunn thing, but if you want somebody that knows the property, that's kind of the next best thing. But I think this speaks to why the Russos would be the best ones so far. And Marvel just got to drop it. They got to drop that bag. I know it was hard for them to pay Downey. I know it was hard for them to swallow that. But listen, if you didn't have Downey, would Infinity War have been the way it was? Would Endgame do what it do? So you might just have to bite that bullet. Oh no. Let's see. Anonymous, what you got? Thank you so much. Why hasn't Kevin Feige reached out to the Russo brothers for other projects since Avengers Endgame? So the Russo brothers they have a production company where they are making products. They're making TV shows. What was that show on Amazon? Citadel. I think they're behind Citadel. I think, don't quote me, I think they're also behind From on MGM, I think. But of course, they've also made a bunch of other movies, a number of movies with Tom Holland that have also failed, like Cherry. But yeah, they're out there doing other things. They're making more movies. They're making more TV shows. Hold on, did they do Extraction? Maybe they were. Yes, they were. They were producers behind Extraction with Chris Hemsworth. Yes, that is another one. So, they're making money. There's a lot of money to be made when you're on the production side. They did The Gray Man as well. So, yeah. And to be fair, Kevin Feige can't wait for them, but I'm just saying this would be something I would pencil as soon as possible. Like, if you told me we had to wait for Secret Wars, I'll wait. If you can get the Russos, I'll wait. But yeah, that's why it's money, it's scheduling, productions. That's all. House of Boom, what you got? I agree with the Russo brothers. They are still keeping the iron sharp. Give us that Extraction 1 energy in the MCU. Man, that would be insane. That would be insane. If they could bring that on, let's go. Let's go. I'll be there. I'll be there first day. Are you kidding me? Nelson, what about Zack Snyder? Nelson got jokes. What about Zack Snyder? Nelson, what about Blade? What about Blade 2? What about The Raid? What about The Raid 2? See, you thought you was going to slip into the super chats and not catch one. Sir, what you been watching? But yeah, it's the Nelson check time. What you been watching? Because you got time for the jokes. You got time to write some jokes. I just need to know, do you have time to watch your assignments? What else you got to watch? Daredevil 2? Don't you got to watch that too? So you got a long list to be writing these jokes. You got a long list. You got a whole to-do list. And you over here writing jokes. We going to pass on that, sir. We going to pass on that. Thought you was slick. Thought you was going to slick that in foot. Kiki, ha-ha, Zack Snyder, ha-ha. What? Go watch his movies. Go watch your movies, sir. Go watch your stuff. Coming in here with that. Here we go. What you got here? Michael, what you got? Thank you so much. Back in the day, I would unplug the Xbox controller and give it to my nephew to play with. Let Raimi direct but don't tell him there's no film in the camera. Don't do that. That's bogus. I used to do that too. My little cousins will come to play or whatever. I'll be like, oh yeah, you can play Mario with me. Yeah, you the mushrooms. Yeah. Ooh, look at you. Do. I used to do the same thing. Same thing. Thank you so much for that, Michael. I appreciate you. Let's go. Oh, we got 2 more left. Oh man, look, y'all, we make fantastic time. This is great. I think I am going to let's talk about Monkey Man. So, Monkey Man, in case you did not know, this is the directorial debut for Dev Patel. And Dev Patel, you might remember him from The Green Knight, Slumdog Millionaire, if you remember him as that being that young. But this guy is basically come on the scene, and this is him right here. And he is showing us what he's got behind the camera here in this debut film. So let's just kind of go through a quick little brief intro for Monkey Man. So basically, an anonymous young man unleashes a campaign of vengeance and revenge against the corrupt leaders who murdered his mother and continue to systemically victimize the poor and powerless. Okay, so this is basically, a crime revenge thriller against those in power. Okay, so it's a basic concept. So in true fashion, let's start off with the good. I would say that Dev Patel's performance in this was absolutely solid. But if you're familiar with him and his acting, he's always been a solid actor. That has always been probably one of the best things about him is his performance. And he really does come through in this film. I really loved his moments where he wasn't fighting. A lot of those moments I thought were solid. You got a lot of the intricacies of his character, the pain that he's gone through, the pain, the trauma that he's carrying. He does a lot of that even when he's not speaking. So that I think speaks to his delivery in this, and it was just exceptional for the most part. But of course, let's see, we can't go without talking about the number one best thing about this, and that is the action. I mean, the fight scenes in this film are amazing. This is absolutely what you are coming here for. You are coming for the fights. You are coming for all the drama in the fights. And I have to say, I absolutely love the choreography. The settings were absolutely fantastic. You're going to get at least 2 major fight scenes in this film. And I thought that they were done absolutely beautifully. One thing that really helped the fight scenes was the cinematography. So the way he was shooting a lot of them were, sometimes you have the shaky cam, first person type of look with it, but it was done so well that it really gives you that grimy, gritty, hardcore feel, that like you were right there in the middle of the action. So the film gives you one big action sequence in the very beginning. It's definitely it's going to get your adrenaline up. It's going to get your attention for sure. I like the long cut scenes. The choreography, you can definitely see that they practiced a lot. And it definitely helped that Dev Patel is a martial artist. Like, he's actually learned martial arts in his life. So him doing a lot of the stunts was fantastic. And just knowing that little behind the scenes information that he's broken some toes, he's broken some fingers, and like really hurt himself throughout this whole thing, just I think adds to the authenticity of what this of those different fight scenes and all that. But oh my gosh, the big battle at the end, that was also very good. I mean, this is probably where people are going to make a lot of comparisons to John Wick. Of course, it definitely helps that he wears a suit throughout this as well. But my goodness, the bloody violence, the graphic stuff. I mean, there's a scene where he does something. I think it's the elevator scene. There's an elevator scene. You'll know it when you see it, when they're fighting. And one of the scenes, he does something that I don't think I've ever seen somebody do with a knife in an action flick to date. Either way, I was sitting there like, yeah, like I was sitting there with the audience, and the audience, because it was we had fans watching this. The audience was sitting there oohing and awing right along with everything. So I thought that was fantastic, and it was so well done. So yes, the action peak, great. The cinematography, the acting in this, solid all across the board. But with that said, we do have to talk about the bad. So when it comes to the bad stuff, I have to give this caveat that it's difficult for me to call this a bad thing, because I'm going to be very honest that this is a privileged American issue. Um, but at the same time, I can't deny my own experiences here too. So one of the things that I think people need to know is that this does deal with a lot of cultural things, right? And some of the cultural things in this film might go over some people's heads. I mean, they went over my head. A lot of the political things that were introduced in the film didn't really resonate with me. And a lot of that might just be because I'm not very familiar with Indian politics like that. So it's hard for me to say that this is an absolute bad thing on the film, because on one hand, yes, film is something that has the obligation to communicate stuff to us, the audience. But at the same time, there's a certain balance in terms of how much hand holding do you really have to do. So this film is so authentic to Indian culture that sometimes it's at a fault, but I can't fault the film for being true to itself. You know what I'm saying? Like it's similar to, I'm not gonna get mad at a movie with black culture and black themes not catering itself to non-black audiences. I'm not going to knock a film if it's steep in this Indian culture and I don't get it. But I also can't ignore the fact that I did kind of check out. I checked out a couple times because I didn't really understand the intricacies of the politics. Now, to the film's credit, I will say that you understand the basics, right? You know who the bad guy is. And that's kind of all you really need to know, right? You know who the good guy is, you know who the bad guy is, and at the end of the day, the action is enough to kind of piece things together. But I would be lying to you if I told you I did not miss some subtitles. There were some moments when the sound quality was not all that great, and some people in this film have very thick accents, okay? Very, very thick accents. And it was a little hard to understand sometimes. So when you have the hard, thick accents combined with the very rich cultural stuff that may or may not resonate, I'm not, again, it's not a terrible thing for the movie, but I can understand how it might take some people out of it. And the other thing is, as good of a job I think Dev Patel did as a director, whew, man, there was a couple moments that dragged. I mean, there was a couple moments in the whole thing that just dragged and dragged. and they just did not resonate very well. And I think a lot of that had to do in the second act of the film. The first act, it was cool. We got that big fight scene. It was great. We understood where we was going. That middle part dragged. It just did. Like, I was like, yo, y'all gonna fight again? Like, what's going on? Like, what, can we get back to the story? So it got a little too art house for me. But thankfully towards the end, you get the big fight at the end, so that worked itself out. So that's it for the bad. Now let me kind of give you my reason and my rating. Listen, I think that Monkey Man, at the end of the day, it's an ambitiously strong debut for Dev Patel as a director. It definitely has enough action to make this a hit and an enjoyable film for people to watch. Like I said, the biggest challenge for this movie is probably going to be how it's marketed compared to the expectations audiences are going to have. So what I mean by that is, yes, you're going to look at this trailer, you're going to look at this film and be like, yes, we're going to get Indian version of John Wick. It's not that. I think that it is, yes, a movie with a lot of action in it. It does take a strong grasp and appreciation for Indian culture and politics, but it has John Wick-like moments in it. It's not a John Wick movie. So if you go into it with that expectation, it's possible you might get a little disappointed because it's not 100% action based the way John Wick has kind of made us expect. I'd say it's probably, I wouldn't even say 50-50. It might be a 60-40 balance of action versus drama. But it's not the John Wick constant action that you might think it is based off of the trailers. But either way, I think that it definitely understood what it needed to do with the action scenes, and that's pretty much what really helped it. When it comes to the rating for Monkey Man, I think I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. It was still a good movie. I enjoyed it. Yes, the politics and the cultural things might be a challenge for some people. But I think that the action is what's going to keep you engaged regardless. Just don't go in thinking I'm going to get 100% John Wick. It's not like that. But this actually kind of made me think about, this must be what foreign audiences or international audiences, this must be what it's like for them when they watch American movies. They might not always get the cultural references. They might not always understand the politics. But if you put some good action in there, and if you get to, I know that's the good guy, I know that's the bad guy, I know somebody about to get their butt whooped, that's all you really need. So I think this movie understood the assignment in that regard. But anyway, you guys let me know, what did you think about Monkey Man? If and if you do plan on going to see it, come on back to this video. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. All right. That is my Monkey Man for y'all. Okay, so now we can get to the main topic, which is, wait, I do have it, right? Why did I put this? I'm sorry. I'm sorry I put this. Well, Fantastic Four. It looks like, guys, we have finally found our Silver Surfer. Fantastic Four has been constantly all about, who's gonna play Reed Richards, who's gonna play this character, that character, etc. And we finally found out, the cast for him. But now it looks like Deadline is finally reporting that we now know who's going to play Silver Surfer. And according to rumors, looks like the rumors were true. We are getting a female Silver Surfer, and that is going to be Julia Garner. Some of you guys might remember her from Ozark. And let's see here what Deadline had to say. It says Julia Gardner is set to play the iconic comic book character in the Fantastic Four. It says that according to a source, Gardner is going to play Shala Bal, a version of Silver Surfer from the comics. Again, she has won 3 Emmys for playing Ruth on Ozark and in other dramas. So, whoo, man, oh man. When I tell you, when I saw the way people were reacting to this news, my goodness, people was like, oh my gosh, Disney's gone woke again. We got a DEI Silver Surfer. Oh my God, here we go again. Boy, listen, that Nelson Peltz energy show started to ring loud on the internet. Where's my Norrin Rad? I want my male Silver Surfer. I even saw some people saying, don't you know Silver Surfer's white? First of all, he's silver. First of all. But anyway, personally, I'm not that invested. I'm not that invested in Silver Surfer like that because I don't really care about Fantastic Four like that. I know that they have this legacy. I know that they've had all this attention because they were Marvel's first family and all that. But here's the thing, y'all. And I want to try to help y'all, right? I want to try to help y'all out. It's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. I know some people are sitting here like, oh my gosh, it's a female. Where's the male? What's Marvel doing? Guys, y'all really gonna give up on all of Marvel because of a supporting character? Because of one supporting character? This is it? This is the straw that's gonna break y'all back? Okay. But let me tell you why I'm not concerned about this and why this does not worry me. 2 reasons. Actually, let's go into the rumor first. One rumor is that and it's not really a rumor, but Lakeith Stanfield, you know, y'all might remember him from Get Out or Sorry to Bother Me. He had actually said something on his Instagram not too long ago and then deleted it, but he said, it says here, Stanfield reacted to the news that Garner had been cast on Stanfield in a now deleted post on Instagram, posting an image of her alongside the caption, thought it was going to be me, but I guess. So, it sounds like Marvel potentially was looking for a male version of Silver Surfer. And that just lets me know that, you know, a couple of things might have happened. One, maybe they were looking for Norrin Red, you know, the male Silver Surfer, like the iconic version. And maybe they was like, wait a minute, we got a 3-time Emmy winner, somebody who was a fan favorite on this show, somebody who can, if we're being honest, act circles around Lakeith. We'll go with that. Now, I've always said, you go with talent first. You can make everything else believable, but talent has to go first. Now, I have no problem with Lakeith playing a male version of Silver Surfer, mainly because it doesn't require a lot of acting ability. You don't need to have a lot of range to play Silver Surfer. You just need a character, an actor who can play that monotone voice, whatever. Like, he's just about his business. That's it. So I'm fine if they want to have him play it, but I'm also fine if they want to get a quality actress as well. But I get it, because let's take the sexist misogyny out of this, right? Let's take all the people that are like, it's a woman. Let's take them out of this equation, okay? Let's talk to the actual hardcore comic book fans. Let's talk to the people that are like, yo, Silver Surfer, Norrin Rad, it's this or bust, right? And I hear you. I have no issue with the fact that those type of folks want to see their main character. It's no different than how as a Black Panther fan, I want to see my T'Challa, right? I need T'Challa to show up because that's my Black Panther, right? But hear me out. It is possible, based off of what we've seen so far, that this takes place in a different universe, right? If it is true that this takes place in a different universe, I think that comes with a lot of benefits that maybe people are not considering. So, for one, we already talked about how it is possible that Avengers Secret Wars could bring about a soft reboot of the MCU. Well, if that is the case, anything they do right now won't matter. If they reboot after Secret Wars, who cares what they do right now? Maybe this is the time where Marvel can experiment. Maybe this is the time where Marvel can show you all these alternate versions. And then I would just say, if you're worried about the future of the MCU, why would you worry about the stuff that's happening before they do a potential reboot? You should be more concerned about what they do after the reboot, because whatever they do after the reboot, that's what you're probably going to get stuck with for another 10, 15, 20 years. But in the meantime, what they about to do, what, in the next 2 years, this ain't finna make or break Marvel because they cast an alternate version in a different universe. No one's going to care. It's just going to be here. And maybe if it works, they keep it. If it doesn't work, they have an opportunity to change it up. So all I'm saying is, maybe we should not get super worked up about something that's going to happen before everything is solidified and set in stone. So, for example, Doctor Strange 2. Yeah, we got John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. And then we didn't. And then we got another then we got another Mr. Fantastic with Pedro Pascal. Is he going to be the Pedro? Is he going to be the Mr. Fantastic forever? We don't know. Is this going to be the Silver Surfer forever? We don't know. This might just be a one and done. Now, just to kind of give a little bit more context here, we just got this from Marvel, I believe, which was it was a poster or whatever of Happy 4-4 Day, Fantastic Four. But what's really getting people going is the background. When you look at the background of that city, this does not look like something that's in the current MCU. The buildings do not look like anything that would be in the current MCU at all. This looks like a very different world and a different timeline. So again, if it is true that they're dealing with a whole different timeline and a whole different universe, this is expendable. This is not the main canon. This is not something that we have to get worked up about, because we already know the What If series exists. The What If series has other alternate things that happen. Just because Captain Carter exists doesn't mean that Steve Rogers in the main canon never existed. So again, this is what I'm saying. I don't think we need to be jumping to these conclusions, but let me give y'all one little goodie. Just one little goodie. If you have Silver Surfer, right? If you have Silver Surfer, that also means that Galactus is not far away. Okay? So that's cool, right? Galactus, according to reports here, Galactus is going to be the main villain, right? Says here, seems obvious given Silver Surfer's involvement, but yes, Galactus is expected to be the main villain, and that role is currently open with no one in talks or holding an offer for the role. Okay, cool. What does Galactus do? Galactus likes to have planets for snack time, right? Let me throw out this potential theory that's out there, and maybe this will soothe some of the emotions of the people that are all riled up over this potentially non-canon story. What if, yes, we get the different version of a Silver Surfer in this alternate universe, and what if they lose? What if Galactus, at the end of this Fantastic Four movie, eats their Earth? What if Galactus wins? What if the Fantastic Four lose? And it's because of that loss in that alternate reality that they find their way in the main continuity. And maybe when they find their way in the main continuity, that's when we get another Galactus with a different Silver Surfer, maybe even a male Silver Surfer. So all I'm saying is it is possible that what happens in this movie might not continue for the next 10, 15 years. And we should just wait before people want to jump ship. That's all I'm saying. So, I like the idea of this potentially taking place in another universe because that means anything could happen. That means that they can take a risk like them losing. They can do whatever they want with it because it's not something that has to stay canon forever. That's a positive thing, I think, because I don't know, like a lot of the stuff that's been happening in the MCU have been a little too soft for me. I'm thinking like, man, we got to have the bad guys win. We got to have, the crazy stakes again. I would love to see a Fantastic Four movie where they're comfortable, they've been heroes, they've been living the life, and all of a sudden Galactus comes up and shakes up their entire world. And when they shake up their world, they come over here, maybe in this universe or whatever, and they like, yo, y'all don't understand. Galactus is a problem, and maybe we use that later on. I don't know. But all I'm saying is it's way too early to be reacting to this. It's just a movie. Let's see what happens with it, and then we can move forward with it. By the way, just to add on to the whole reboot thing, it was just mentioned because we talked about the production weekly or whatever, where basically they talk about upcoming movies and stuff. Now, this isn't like the biggest of news, but it was mentioned that there is going to be a new X-Men movie that is going to be in development. Now, Kevin Feige already pretty much said mutants are coming, so a movie was going to happen. But according to this production weekly, it says the plan now is for Marvel Studios' planned reboot of the X-Men to begin production in late 2025. It says, so this suggests that the new X-Men movie will be with us quite a bit sooner. So just kind of take that with a grain of salt. But if it starts production in late 2025, and if Secret Wars, if it does kind of still happen in 2026, I don't know if it will or not. It's possible that we will see the X-Men rebooted later on. Let's see. Actually, they had some more juicy stuff in here too. They also said that Shang-Chi 2 is going to start in next March. Armor Wars, oh my gosh, it's actually going to happen production in 2024. And even Vision Quest is going to start production later this year. Take all of that with a grain of salt, though. Either way, I'm not concerned about this Silver Surfer. This supporting character was not going to make or break the movie for me. I'm more concerned about what Marvel's going to do in the future and not right now, especially if a reboot is coming. If a reboot's coming, that literally nullifies any type of big changes that they do now. In other words, this is the time for Marvel to gamble. Personally, I don't think they should be gambling, because why would you want to gamble now? You got all your heavy hitters. Stop playing with our time. But we also don't know the story. So I'm not too worried about it. I understand some people are. Personally, I think it's a little premature. Because here's the other thing. We also don't know if the main Silver Surfer might do a cameo at the very end. It's all CGI anyway. So for all we know, that character could still show up in a post-credit scene. So again, all I'm saying is, let y'all just chill out. Chill out. Wait for the movies. Don't be quick for the outrage. Not yet. Not yet. I'm not saying don't feel how you want to feel, but I'm just saying just Give it a little time. That's all. Anyway, what do y'all think about the casting of the new Silver Surfer? Like I said, she is a talented actress. It's not like they just got some bum off the street. She knows how to act. The character does have stories in the comics, by the way. Shalabala, she does have a connection to Norrin Rad as well. So we also don't know if Marvel's gonna tweak that story. You know, maybe she's the Silver Surfer, and then before she dies, she's like, now you have the power. I don't know. It could be a lot of different things. But whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. I got Nelson, what you got? You think the Fantastic Four universe will collide with the MCU? I do. I think that my theory has always been that because of how the MCU is not like the comics directly. So anybody trying to quote the comics, like, it's kind of pointless because the MCU has already shown us that they're not sticking exactly to the comics. And based off of what we saw in the Marvels, we already saw the fact that the universes are starting to talk, right? At the end of the Marvels, we saw that. So, it's possible if Beast, you still got a Photon out there. If they're able to cross over and stuff, why not? Reed Richards is like the smartest man in the universe, so maybe he's gonna find a way to cross over. Maybe their planet is destroyed and he's like, man, we got to get out of here and go to another universe. I don't know, but we'll see if that happens. But anyway, guys, that's it for today. Look at that. 2 hours. When was the last time we had something like that? Woo-wee! My goodness, I love it. I might mess around and have dinner. I don't know what to do with myself with all this extra time now. This is great. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to be here, to hang out with your boy. Guys, I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for the wonderful support. Shout out to Kiki. Oh, snaps. Hold on. We got a little bit more. Hold on. Zia, hold on now. For something for the lights or family vacay, $20 Cash App. Zia, thank you so much. Appreciate you so much for that. I appreciate you. That is so kind of you. And then my man Terrence, come on now. For the e-collar treat for Kobe, $10 Cash App. Brother, thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. Definitely gonna do some more e-collar training. Matter of fact, I might need to go see what a dog's at, see what he's up to right now. I don't want to bother him. He probably sleep right now. But thank you guys so much. It really does mean a lot. But let's see. Next time we will meet up is Wednesday for okay. You guys can help me out. I might have an interview coming up. I don't know, but I want y'all to start thinking now. What are your questions about X-Men 97? What are your questions about it now? Questions in the future? I might have something coming up. I don't know, but if y'all can hook a brother up with some questions, some thoughts, let me know. But we will be talking on Wednesday to cover episode 5 of X-Men 97. So make sure you're there, 7:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. We will be there to break down the episode. But yeah, that's it. All right, guys. You know the routine. Have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy yourself. Be safe. Wash your hands, wash your butts, and everything in between. Until next time, guys. Peace.